Okay, so here's the process. I'm going to have somebody stationed as an unpacking person. I'll have somebody stationed as a cleaning person. I'll have somebody that's rinsing and setting up the dryer, and then I'll have a repacking station. In order to keep track of what came in and out of a certain box, boxes will be marked with the box number through your inventory software and what's in the box. My unpacking person is going to take items out of the box and is going to load them into baskets. Some boxes will load into a single basket. Some might take 3 baskets, depending on the types of parts, the density of the box, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to have layers of contents on top of each other, because again, we're using a sound. Think of, again, stereo system and water. So if I have layers on top of each other, I'm not going to clean effectively in the middle layers. So I want to sparsely place contents in each basket. So if this box had enough contents that I would fill 3 baskets up, the way I would do this is I would take a red tag, in this case. I would tag the box with a red clip, and I would tag my baskets with a red clip. So anything that came out of this box goes into baskets with the same red clip. That way, as this basket goes through the process and gets back to the other side for repacking, the repacking person is going to be able to identify when these baskets come out with red tags. Okay, these baskets go into a brand new box. So we're going to take the old box, take the information off the old box, either with the printed label from our software or if we're handwriting it. But we're going to take that same information and transfer it to a brand new box, and that way we're able to keep track. Because after 5 or 6 boxes, nobody's going to remember what's in any particular box. So if my repacking person is asking the unpacking person, hey, does this piece of china go with this box or this box? Boy, after about five boxes, nobody's going to remember. So this little basket tagging is a real simple way to keep track of what comes out of a box, goes back into a brand new box, and then that way 3, 6, 8, 9 months from now when you do the move back, your information will be accurate, because you're going to have pre-scope photos, you're going to have pre-pack out photos, but it's sure going to be a lot nicer to be able to open up the box and know where it goes and not have a mixture of things, living room and kitchen in one box. So this is how we keep track of things. So the process is we're going to unpack the box. We're going to place the basket and a color tag on the basket and the box as we just described or just showed. If we have a fairly heavy fire, we're going to use a HEPA vac next to the conveyor, which we can vacuum off. But that would only be on an extremely heavy fire. Wouldn't do it on a light or a medium fire. And we're going to pre-rinse the contents in the pre-wash system machine for 3 to 5 minutes, which again we'll demonstrate later. And then we're going to move those baskets into the ultrasonic unit. Now, part of the pre-rinse, there's two reasons we use the pre-rinse. I wouldn't use it on a light fire, but I'd use it on medium and heavy fires. So it's doing 2 things. We're using the pre-rinse to emulsify and soften up the soot, so that when I get into the ultrasonic tank, I'm using that to do my final precision cleaning. And also, if I've got really delicate items and I'm a little concerned about the ultrasonic action, maybe removing some paint, I may just use the pre-wash and do all my cleaning there with the spray gun and a pad. You might find that on a higher end, like an expensive vase, you may just be safer leaving it in the pre-wash. So we'll use the pre-wash a lot for doing my delicate contents, and then for everything else, it's just softening the soot. And here's my example of why you would use a pre-wash. So if I'm having breakfast and I have scrambled eggs and I'm using a cast iron skillet, I have my eggs, I have my breakfast, I come back, it's time to clean the cast iron skillet. I put some soap and water in there, and it takes a lot of elbow grease to get that scrambled egg that's burnt, that's baked in there off. But if I put my soap and water in the pan and let it sit for a few minutes while I go back and clean the rest of the table, I go back, Still takes a little bit of elbow grease, but not as much. That egg, that baked on egg will come off a lot easier. Same concept here. Soaking in the pre-wash softens up that soot so that when I move the contents into the ultrasonic, I'm going to be running those shorter time cycles, especially on the delicate items. I don't want to leave them in there more than those 15 to 30-second cycles. We're going to then move the basket of contents to the rinse sink. We're going to rinse off any leftover residue and then any of the soap residue. And then we're going to hit it with compressed air, and then we'll run it through the tunnel dryer to do the final drying. So think of the compressed air like the pre-wash. It's doing the gross removal of water, and then the tunnel dryer is doing the precision removal of water. And then we're going to repack the contents.